Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. So for today's video I am going to be doing my November wrap up, and I had a really good reading month in November, I would say. First of all, I felt like I read a lot of books, and I also read some really good books as well. So I read 7 actual novels, 1 poetry book, and I believe 4 or 5 graphic novels. So I would say I had a pretty good reading month. So if we start with the books that I don't have on me right now, which is 1 novel and the graphic novels, and that is because I borrow my graphic novels at the library. Actually, I don't buy graphic novels. That's like the only thing that I don't buy when it comes to books. I don't know why, but I just don't, I guess. The first graphic novel I completed in the month of November was The Graveyard Book of Volume 1, and I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I felt The Graveyard Book, which I also read in November, was a book that definitely just should have had illustrations. So I was really glad when I saw that there has been made a graphic novel to the book. The only reason I think why I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, I can't really come up with a good reason. It just didn't blow me away like as much as the actual book did, I just guess, but I still really enjoyed it. The next graphic novel I completed in the month of November is Paper Girls Volume 1, and I rated this 3 out of 5 stars. It was really different from what I've thought. I was not disappointed, but it was just really different, and I'm pretty sure it's like a science fiction graphic novel. Don't put me up on it, but I think it is. And that was quite interesting, but I still did really like it, and I am going to continue on with this series. It's kind of hard to explain what the series is about, but we follow these paper girls. I think it's like in the middle or in the end of the 1980s, and then all of a sudden these weird people are coming. I believe they're coming from the future, and it's kind of weird, but the ending in Volume 1 just made me really want to read Volume 2. The next graphic novel I completed was The Sculpture, and oh my god, I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. This was so good, and it was like so deep. It was also really long. It was like actually I think either around or just a bit over 500 pages. That's a freaking long graphic novel, but you complete it really fast because it's a graphic novel, so it doesn't say that much on the pages. But this was really good. I kind of have a hard time saying like really what it's about. Well, it's about this guy, and he lives of building sculptures, and his life is just going not so great. And then he makes this deal with the death that he has a certain amount of days to live in, and then all of a sudden a lot of things are happening, and the ending is kind of sad, but also like I don't know if I like to say it's a good ending, but in some way I thought that that was the best way this graphic novel actually could end. So yeah, but it was really good, and I will definitely recommend everyone to read it because damn, that was a good novel. And the last graphic novel I completed was Friends with Boys, and I rated this, I believe 4.5 out of 5 stars. I did not expect to like this as much as I did, but I actually did really like it. There was nothing really like a huge meaning behind it. We follow this girl, and she has always been homeschooled with her 3 older brothers, but now she is starting high school with, you know, other people than her brothers, and we just following her through the days, like who she's becoming friends with and all of that. But there's actually also a ghost following her, and I'm not quite sure who that ghost is, and I'm pretty sure the ending basically tells us who the ghost is, but I still don't really get it. So yeah, maybe that's just me being a bit stupid, but I don't know. I just didn't really get the ending, but overall I really like the graphic novel. And for the poetry book that I completed, I finally finished Poems of Food and Drink. I finally did. It actually took me a month to finish this, so that was a long time. I rated this 3 out of 5 stars. I think everyone, like, when they read a poetry book, there will always be some poems that they find really good and also some they don't find just as good, and it was obviously the same for me in this book, but overall I did like it, but it was still a 3 out of 5 stars for me though. Not more, not less. And now for the actual novels. The first one that I don't have on me is The War That Saved My Life, and I think I've mentioned this in like 3 or 4 of my videos already, So you guys know how much I like it. It actually is a children's book. That's definitely what it says. If I read it, I don't think I would expect it to be a children's book. It's probably more like a middle grade book. I'm not 100% sure. But it was really, really, really good. I'm not really gonna say that much about the book, except that we follow a brother and a sister, and it happens under World War II, and they're getting sent away to live with this old lady, and a lot of things are happening. But I have an entire review for this book that I will link down below, so you can go check that out, because I am going more into detail in that video. But I rated this 5 out of 5 stars because this was so freaking good. I really, really liked it. It was just, yeah, I did not expect it to like it as much as I did, but damn, I just flew through that book. The next book that I completed in the month of November was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, and seriously guys, I said that really slow because I actually had to say that 10 times before that line worked for me. I obviously rated this 5 out of 5 stars. There's not much to say. Well, there is a lot to say about those books, but I don't feel like saying it because it would spoil something probably for what happens in Throne of Glass. But this is the second book to the this is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. So freaking good, and the ending, oh my god. Like, that ending was seriously the bomb. That ending was just perfect. You're just standing there like, what? What? And you just have to continue on with the next book. And as I mentioned, you kind of just had to continue to the next book, which was what I did. So I also read Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas in the month of November. This was still a 5 out of 5 stars for me, but there was just so much thing going on in this book, and there actually were some parts where it was kind of like, I don't get it. I kind of like, first of all, we are introduced to a whole new place. We're introduced to a lot of new characters. There's just a lot of different things going on in this book compared to the first two, I feel like, but I still really, really liked it a lot, and I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen in Queen of Shadows, because that's freaking interesting. Yeah, a lot. But I love this, and I cannot wait to continue on with the last two books. The next book that I finished was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I rated this, actually on my Goodreads it says 5 stars, but I am gonna go down and say 4.5 out of 5 stars, because when I thought about it afterwards, I really liked it, and I do understand what's all the hype is about, but I was like, it didn't blow me away like some of the other 5 stars books normally do. But 4.5 is still like a damn good rating, okay? So, in this book we follow a character called Madeline, and she's basically allergic to the whirl, and she can't leave her house because the smallest thing can make her sick. So she basically just stays inside. But then there are new neighbors, and there's this cute boy Ollie, and she really wants to get to know him better, and then there's stuff going on, and I will not say anymore because you should just read it for yourself, but it was really, really good. The next book that I finished was The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. This is so good. It's a middle grade book, and it's about a guy named Bot, which is short for nobody, that grew up on a graveyard with ghosts. And I'm not gonna say more, seriously, that should just be enough to make you find this book interesting. That's definitely, that was definitely enough for me to find this book really interesting. But it was so good, and you should definitely read it. The next book I finished in the month of November was Playlist for the Dead by Michelle Falkov. So I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. This was really good. So this book is about Sam. His best friend Hayden committed suicide after a party, and all he left for Sam afterwards was a tape with a lot of songs, and also a note saying that listen to this and you will understand. So basically the entire story is where we follow Sam finding out what these songs mean. And there's also a girl and some things going on, and it's actually really good. I liked it. There was definitely moments where it was kind of like, this is exciting, what's going on, blah blah blah. That's a good thing with books. And the last book that I completed in November was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. I've actually owned this book for a long time, and I know all the hype there is about Fangirl, and I was kind of scared getting into this because I did read Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, and as much as I loved it, I didn't quite understood all the hype about Rainbow Rowell, but I knew Fangirl apparently was something completely different, so I went into this with high expectations, but I did not get disappointed at all. This was so freaking good. I don't feel like saying that much about it because I just think you guys should read it for yourself, but we follow a girl called Kath, and she has a twin sister called Vren. It's Vren, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it actually. They're going to the university, and Kath is really attached to her twin sister, but all of a sudden she kind of has to be alone and meet new people, and she doesn't really adjust to that very well, and then she meets this guy called Levy, and a lot of things are going on, and it's so freaking cute. This book was so cute, but there was also a lot of other things except from the romance going on, which is what I also really liked. A lot with Kath, a writing style, because she's a huge fan of Simon and the Snow, I believe it's called, and she writes fan fiction, and there's just a lot of things that was really good except from the love part, but the love part was also really good. So I will definitely recommend you guys reading this because the hype, you guys, it's true. It is really good. So those were all of the books that I read in the month of November. I personally felt like I had a pretty good damn reading month. And please also tell me what books you read in the month of November. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!